welcome to Multi-Poptural, multimedia, multicultural, and pop culture as fuck. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well as SoundCloud at Multi-Poptural. Don't forget the show is rated R for strong, shitty language, as well as some spoilers!
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jordan Brown, a.k.a. Doodoo Brown, a.k.a. Dirty Deadpool, a.k.a. USDA Fresh Meat, a.k.a. Eagles Nation All Day Bleed Green.
Bird Gang.
Bird Gang, Bird Gang.
Oh, my God.
Bird Gang, boy. Hey, better than Cleveland, am I right?
Painful for the Cleveland guy.
Who isn't?
Yeah, exactly. I'm your guy for everything video games, heavy metal music.
Hey, it's Jerry.
Pretty cool, huh, Morty? Oh,
I thought it was cool.
I don't give a what you think, Jerry.
A.K.A. Don, a.k.a. J-Don, a.k.a. J-Don Draper. I'm the comic nerd over here at Multi-Poptural.
I'm Ryan Saba. For all my Xbox fans out there, you can find me on PUBG as Mr. Sabatooth. I'm often referred to as Captain Cleveland. I am the resident Browns loyalist, Chief Wahoo defender, and LeBron James lover. And for all my Toronto Raptors fans out there, the real king of the North.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Hey everybody, this is Brian,
No! God, please, no! No!
a.k.a. El Nino, a.k.a. Behern, a.k.a. Puerto Rican Poppy,
Puerto
or as Jordan
Rico.
likes to call me, the tiny, what was it?
Little
The
babe, sexy little baby bear.
Sexy little baby bear.
You sexy little baby bear.
No gamer tags because I pretty much use my Xbox One for Netflix and Hulu only.
We want to take the opportunity to shout out one of our sponsors, Gate City Growlers. They have 20 taps. They specialize in small North Carolina breweries and specialty craft beers. Working with the little guys since 2015. Guys, please stay local. Take care of the local shops.
We are going to go into our own personal top 5 MCU movies.
Right word.
So to kick this off, we are going to go with J-Don, a.k.a. Jerry.
All right. Let's see. We're gonna go.
Let's start
top
out.
to bottom. Bottom to top.
Bottom to top.
Okay.
Bottom to top.
All right. So
Saba's a bottom. So,
Listen,
Hey,
I would. Which one's the
Power
dominant?
bottom, power
Wait, which
bottom.
one's
Power
the
bottom.
dominant one? Is it the top? I would
Hey,
definitely.
you can be a
top.
power bottom.
I'm a
either can
power.
be dominant.
Whoever dominates, that's who
he just
I
wants
am.
to be He-Man. He wants the power.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start number 5, Thor Ragnarok. It is so good. It kept me laughing almost the entire movie. And when I wasn't laughing, I was actually cheering on Thor, and I actually cared about Thor.
Yeah.
That was the movie that really brought Thor from Thor 2. I really have no interest in this story at all.
Agreed.
That
We can
might
throw
have
that one in the-
but then again, that might have been Jane Foster. I really can't stand. I really can't stand her. Anyway, so number 5, Thor Ragnarok. Number 4 is Guardians 2. I thought that was so good, but people say that it's better than the first one. I disagree. I think the first one is a little more emotional, and it hit home right at the beginning of it, and
Agreed.
it's amazing. So number 3 was Guardians 1. Number 2 is the movie we've just been yakking our jaws about in Avengers Infinity War. And then my number 1, which is surprising to some, but if you actually look at the actual script, it's probably the best written script, I'd say, Captain America Winter Soldier. It is amazing. It is a political drama that's...
Who directed that?
Political drama, let's see.
Dude,
The
dude.
Russos,
Cleveland's
right?
own.
Yeah.
Anthony and Joe Russo.
Jesus.
They made an
fucking
awesome movie
Christ.
with Cap 2. So that's my number 1.
All right.
Doo-doo?
Doo-doo Brown.
Doo-doo? All right.
Doo-doo, doo-doo.
All right, my number 5 is...
Don't know how you do that. Who do that? You do.
Get it out.
Now, just to clarify, we can pull these from past Marvel movies. This isn't the current MCU, right?
I know.
I would
thought we were
love
doing
that.
MCU.
Can it be any, or is it
Because-
just
No,
this?
no.
this
We're
one?
doing just
MCU.
MCU.
the Marvel
Okay,
Cinematic
okay.
Universe.
Yes.
All right,
Because I
so,
know
yeah.
you love fucking Blade.
My number 5 is Blade 1.
Wait, that's not your number 1?
Wait, Well, there are 2 more Blade movies.
The one
With
where-
Ryan Reynolds. too.
Wesley, we love you.
Oh my God, I just got so
Yeah,
excited.
he's or who was
He was in the third one.
He was
Blade
no,
Trinity.
the second one.
No,
I thought
it
he
was
was in the second one.
It was
no,
Blade
the
Trinity.
third
It was
one
Blade
is with
Trinity.
Ryan Reynolds and
It was
Jessica.
trash. Alba.
Not Alba.
with the butt.
Beal.
Beal's the one with the butt.
Jessica
Alba's
Biel.
the one with the face.
Jessica Timberlake.
Yes.
I don't like that you just said that and made that gyration.
That's her
motion.
real name.
Yeah, he did kind of scoot
He
up.
gyrated.
In the seat.
He was
did.
like-
he was like, oh, I'm all of a sudden not cold.
He was like, "Stop the feeling." All right, so no, in all actuality, which probably isn't a word.
Actuality is a word.
Whatever. You
did good.
science major.
And you didn't make it up.
By the way,
All right, so my number 5.
Mazel
Yeah.
tov.
Fuck buttons. All right, my number 5. My number 5 is Iron Man 1. It just set the precedent for, minus the X-Men movies.
Oh, you're good.
It set the precedent for like what an actual Marvel movie should be, and like an origin story, and it was the very first of its kind. So I was really cool with it, and now all these other origin movies are coming out, and we're kind of just we're lost to the fact now. But Iron Man was the OG. My number 4 is Thor Ragnarok because it was absolutely hilarious. It was, every character was fan-fucking-tastic.
Agreed.
Korg, my motherfucking man.
Hey, man.
Hey, piss off, Ghost.
Hey, oh no, he's dead. He's dead. Oh my God, that was so funny.
Oh, he's alive. He's
Oh my
alive.
God. Oh my God, he's on.
I sat on him.
I accidentally said on him, hey, we're in this big ship. You guys want to come with
And
us?
not to cut you off, if you haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows yet, the director of the movie is in the movie. Please go check it out. It is fucking hysterical.
Gay? All right, so that was the Thor Ragnarok is my number 4. Number 3, I had a hard time deciding between. I'd say an equal number 2. I'll do 2 number 2s.
2A and 2B.
Because I'm Doo-Doo Brown.
Sounds
and
right up your alley.
I do.
Multiple number 2s. We call that diarrhea.
If you follow him on Snap,
There are
He
2
likes to
dues
think-
in my name. Anyway, so my number 2 is is Spider-Man: Homecoming. Like I said, center the movie around the villain.
Right.
You get a great movie, and Vulture was
he
fucking
was.
terrifying.
Michael Keaton
Every
was good.
every single time he was pictured, I was like,
you
the
like
car
that,
scene. The car scene.
When he
the car
On the
scene
way to
and him
prom,
answering
right?
the door.
when he gets yanked out of the car. Oh,
Homecoming.
my God.
It was Homecoming.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so amazing. All right, so all right, my also number 2 is Guardians 2. Like you said, way better than Guardians 1 in my leaps.
I
and
didn't say that.
Okay, well,
That is,
it actually
you
did. All right,
misquoted the Don.
all right, so I'm gonna say it in a way that Doo-Doo says things.
Yes.
Is that this movie was the fucking tits because it was way better than 1 because
It's your opinion. There's no wrong answer here.
well you look at Saba's face and I mean
I'm laughing. I'm smiling.
When I read his text messages, I just get mad because I get it from Saba's perspective, and I'm like, he's like,
Immediate-
good job, and I'm like, he's being such a
being
fucking
sarcastic,
asshole
you
about
fucking
it.
Immediate eye
He's
roll.
like, I'm actually being nice. I'm like, but
All
I
right,
just hear it in your voice.
so Guardians 2 was my second number 2.
Yes.
Because it's like how the first one was like getting all the characters together. You don't really get a feel for all of them. However, in the second one,
It's established already.
It's established, but you still it's hard to put 5 different main characters in a movie and make them all equally important, have their own equally important sideline.
Right.
Amazing, especially
They pulled it off, though.
Especially when Manus touched Drax and she started bawling and he's just sitting
Oh,
there.
my
all-
God, yeah.
Oh, dude, like I almost cried just now.
I can see it in your face.
in
can't
front
you?
of 4 grown
Someone get
men.
this man a tissue.
Yep, almost did. I was about to be the bottom bunk, you know what I mean? But and then
Bottom bunk.
and then my
Is that a thing?
oh shush, you squishy little oatmeal bowl.
I'm actually gonna put that as my hashtag.
All right, so my number 1 is Infinity War because I am just all over this movie's dick, and dude, I'm telling you, man, Thanos.
Purple.
Grimace.
Thanos, the jokes, the fucking the ending. Oh god,
Bringing all these
Thor
characters
becoming
together.
the most badass person in
Agreed.
the fucking galaxy. This is my number one Marvel movie. Who wants to go next? I'm gonna choose it for you. You're saying it's you? Wrong. It's you.
No,
It's Brian. It's Brian Hernandez, aka
get
Cuban
clean up on
Poppy.
this.
All right. I'm just going to go off topic for a second, and I just want to know if any of you guys realized this or saw this. So, the marks on his face.
Okay.
Do you think, and I know I'm just kind of doing like a little
We're talking about
advance.
Thanos.
We're talking about Thanos. The marks on his face, do you think those are prior scars from Wolverine? Because that has been the big theory,
No.
you
No, I
know,
don't.
for a while now.
No, I do not. If Thanos has ever been to Earth before, that would be very fucking
Well, here's the
surprising.
thing that I'm getting ready to bring up, because he does say to Gamora before he offs her, like, I denied my destiny one time before, and I'm not going to do it again. And I think Captain Marvel, which we're going to get into here in a little bit, will play into that. But I just kind of want to throw this in there.
And it is also he does know of Star or Peter Quill.
Right.
He said, "Oh yes, no,
Right.
Tony Stark." He said, "Yes,
Yeah,
I know of you."
Yeah, well, no, but when he meets Peter Quill, too, he is like, oh, the boyfriend. So he already knows.
he
so
knows.
he
That's a good
knows
point.
more
That's a
than
good
we
point.
know.
Well, he
And
got that out of Nebula.
That's true.
I'm thinking.
Ah, gotcha. That,
Facts.
just something I want to bring up real quick. That's
Okay.
all.
No,
so
but
as far as,
The Don
my top
Dynamite
five,
drop in.
not from
Donnie.
not from Wolverine. No.
that's just my guess. So, we'll see what happens.
Well, in the comics, he turned the adamantium skeleton into rubber. When Wolverine went after him, so it was pretty crazy.
So, yeah, definitely not from Wolverine.
He also
then.
put Cyclops' head in a freaking.
just the markings, it
box.
just seem, very, very similar.
What's in the
I'm like,
box? What's in the fucking box?
your own head.
All right, so my top five, going from 5 to 1, Winter Soldier. I thought it was just absolutely amazing. The Russo brothers from Cleveland. Just to be
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Saba.
Cleveland's own Anthony and Joe Russo.
Yeah, just as we talked about earlier, it was very, very well written. The whole story, bringing Bucky back. I just thought, honestly, it was just great with Hydra being mixed in with, S.H.I.E.L.D. and that whole story with Nick Fury. I thought that was amazing. Number 4, I'm going to go with Civil War. I'm actually surprised that you guys didn't have that on there. I just loved every aspect of it. Even though it was a Captain America Civil War, it could have been a standalone Avengers movie, I guess you could say.
Could have been a standalone Iron Man movie. It was
True.
all
Well,
about
it was a,
Iron Man.
It was a
So
big team
angry.
up. It was a big
Right.
team up.
It was a
movie.
big team up.
Too much
and-
time. Too much time.
At the end of
Too
the day,
much
though,
RDJ.
it was a great introduction to me for Black Panther.
Oh, yeah,
for
that was-
everybody. That was
the
a
best part.
fantastic introduction. And then just the story, of Bucky finally kind of getting back to himself, and then Steve trying to help him out and seeing that humanity in him. And then, of course, the whole twist at the end where it
What,
was,
you and Cap on a first name basis?
I'm not the love story doctor over here like you are.
Hey, expose him.
On your left.
So this was actually tough because I actually originally had both Guardians in my top 5, but I got to go with the first one. Both Guardians I love, of course, but the first one is just amazing because to me that was one of the first Marvel movies where you literally get I'm sure the love doctor's going to say some shit over here, but you get all the feels, though. I mean, you're laughing. It is incredibly entertaining. The storyline is good. When they're breaking out of prison's fantastic. But then there's those parts where you also kind of get the feels and get choked up, like when he goes, "We are Groot," and he's saving him.
Cried like-
you can't tell me that you're not at least about to tear up or something's going to happen when he says, "We are Groot."
I'll do you one further. I ugly cried at that movie, at that part in the movie. I swear to God.
Right.
My father and mother, who everyone knows so well.
Wait, the black and white one?
I hear one of them's very loud. I'm not sure which one.
She's the black man in the theater.
She literally she looked at me and was like, "Shut up, bitch!" While I was sitting there like, "But
Why you crying like a bitch, doo-doo?
but mom." Oh
Yeah.
I ugly cried.
No, and I get it. And like I said, that was one of the first movies, especially the MCU, that really just gave me every emotion you could probably have as far as just enjoying, laughing, and like I said, the "We Are Groot" moment, I'm like, holy shit. And even the dance-off at the end was hysterical.
Yeah.
All that.
And the
It was.
the "Take My Hand, Peter." That scene where it flashed back to
Yeah.
his mom
With his
dying.
Yes. Yeah.
He's like, "Take my
Yeah, for
hand,"
sure.
when
Yep.
he's being pulled apart by the
Yep.
Mind Stone or the Power Stone, rather.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, agree with you
You're
100%.
It gets me. It gets me every time.
Yeah.
It gets me every time.
It does not.
It's in those spots.
I'm a little verklempt.
Number 2, Infinity War. You know, we already discussed this before. No need to really get much further into it. It's just an amazing movie in my eyes. And then number 1, I got to go with the OG. I got to go with Iron Man. I mean, if Iron Man doesn't hit those spots and didn't do as well as it did, we would not have, you know, Winter Soldier. We wouldn't have Civil War. We wouldn't have Infinity War. You know, they'd be in the mess that the DC universe is in right now at Warner Brothers. Plain and simple.
That's a career achievement award right there.
So, you know, I mean, that's just my thing. Jon Favreau, one of my favorite directors, period, and just to me a great actor, directed the shit out of that. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. I mean, could you guys picture anybody else as Iron Man? Because I sure as hell can't. And I mean, that set the precedent of everything going forward. So that's my top 5 in a nutshell. Right. Captain Cleveland, you ready to go over here?
Yeah,
Captain Wakanda, I don't know where you're going by today.
I'll back clean up on
Wakanda
this
forever.
one. I think it's good because I have a couple in here that you guys didn't pick. So I think sort of
Blade 2?
To preface this, I am not comic book reader guy. I am very involved in watching the movies. I used to collect. You guys remember the comic book cards?
Hell yeah, 94
Yeah.
Fleer Ultra.
I used to collect those.
I've got those.
That's
I've got
what
some of
got
those.
me into comic books, but I didn't read them. So there's a lot of things that as these movies were coming out, it was all new to me. So
Right.
Number 5, Antman. I thought it was super underrated. And it was really lighthearted. I think that was a movie that everybody's like, what the fuck is this? Ant-Man. And I thought Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd were outstanding. I thought it was a great movie.
Yep.
Agree.
Number 4, the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Sort of similar to Ant-Man. I didn't have a lot of background. I'm thinking, you know, what the fuck? A tree, a raccoon, rabbit.
Space.
You know, like what the hell's going on
Trash
here?
panda.
But you know, the thing that gets the average viewer with Guardians is the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So the soundtrack pulls you in, and then obviously you know Drax is
Solid soundtrack.
Drax is hilarious. It's sort of dry humor, and Quill
The best.
Is probably one of the best. Number 3. Wakanda Forever!
Yeah.
You know, the acting, the cast, you know, Chadwick and Michael B. Jordan.
First name basis.
They're boys.
Do not call him Chad.
You know, the storyline was just outstanding. The whole thing with the technology.
Do the thing.
Wakanda Forever! And just, you know, the whole cultural component. I mean, they just brought in a whole different thing to the MCU. Number 2, Civil War. That's where me and Cap, you know, we turned the corner.
First name basis
Jesus
again, pretty much over here.
That's where me and Steve
He's got him on speed dial like that.
turn the
Cap.
corner. The whole friendship thing. I mean, him and you know, he risked everything for his best friend.
I agree.
Not to get too sort of
Sentimental and mushy
but
like you normally get.
he risked everything for his best friend. He went against you know, a guy that he was building a friendship with in Tony Stark, and clearly the reverberations from that are still felt today. So
Reverberation.
and not to mention that, you know, you kind of said this. It was a mini Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And it was directed by Cleveland's own Anthony and Joe Russo.
Our fucking
How could
viewership
we-
in Cleveland better go through the roof after these
How
two
could we-
episodes. by
Number
the way.
1, Infinity War. 10 years of
Yeah.
build-up, better than advertised. It was the LeBron James.
Jesus. And immediately sinks to my
It was
bottom
the
4.
LeBron James. You have the child prodigy who comes in and is better than advertised. That's what
Tom
Infinity War was. So that's it. That's mine.
Well, in all seriousness, they set the bar really high for this movie.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you look at DC, they set their bar pretty high, and they just are terrible at it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, they got to get somebody in there. But
The
with
cartoon movies for DC are great, but their regular movies have
I
been shit
completely
since the Dark
agree.
Knight
I
trilogy.
completely agree. And the opposite
I don't
too.
even-
The Marvel, the Marvel, you know,
Cartoon
animated
movies,
they're not very good at all.
Not that good at all.
Okay.
For Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Oh yeah, the DC ones are fantastic.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
an inverse property.
Right. Oh, God, we need to start taking these.
X.
Want to take the opportunity to shout out one of our sponsors, Jeff Beal, who specializes in consulting, design, and project management of any project, specializing in automation systems. For Jeff, guys, no job is too big or too small. Find Jeff on Instagram at GEOFF_pronounced_JEFF. So now we're going to do
Fuck button.
a section of the show where we all take an opportunity. It's called Solo Dubs, where we all take an opportunity to talk about things that are very, special and important to us, and we just want to get it out there. So, B. Hearn, why don't you go ahead and go first this week?
All right, so my big thing, and this is another shout out to the homie Matt Feliciano.
Matt,
Miggity Matt. He's going to be coming up soon on the podcast. Cannot wait to have him. He is up and around and doing his thing. He's had 2 birthdays this week for 2 of his kids, but he wanted to be here today, could not make it. And he posted this today.
Happy birthday to the babies.
Yeah, happy birthday to Simone as well as Javier, and a big shout out to Brooklyn. And this one is a 20-year anniversary. That's right. 20-year anniversary, God, I feel old, of the Rough Riders anthem by DMX. So, I mean, this song came out. I still remember buying the CD when it came out, and I tell you what, it blew my mind. I mean, this is at the point where East Coast hip-hop was taking over the game. Hard Knock Life Tour was coming out, with DMX, Jay-Z, Method Man and Redman. Everybody from Wu-Tang started doing their first solo albums. And, as soon as that beat hits and it comes in, I mean, to this day, it still gives me chills. And, for someone that used to DJ, I still love playing in the club and seeing whether people my age, younger people get into it. I love the hell out of it. So 20-year anniversary of DMX Rough Riders Anthem. One of the best hip-hop songs of all time. It's a great one. And, again, big shout-out to Matt. Can't wait to have you on the show. And that's my little solo dub of the week.
I think that was the DMX album, though. Jerry, why don't you go ahead, man?
Well, my
Jerry.
one thing, being from the comic world, is there's something going on here. We have had a major blockbuster movie come out. However, Disney owns a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
The world.
And so
My soul.
something else that's coming up this month is Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yep,
Okay?
yep.
And my one thing I wanted to talk really quickly about, it was a comic book series back in the day, back when Dark Horse Comics owned the rights to the Marvel stories, or a lot of the Marvel stories, or I'm sorry, the Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
They own the rights to it, and they put out this. It was basically a joke, really. It was meant to be a series that wasn't so serious, but it had to do with Star Wars. It was called Tag and Bink Are Dead, and it was a play on, if you know anything about Shakespeare, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Jordan doesn't.
Okay, fine.
Oh, stop. I bought my girlfriend a Star Wars episode.
We're talking Shakespeare now.
Episode 7, as written by William Shakespeare. A play.
It's not as serious as you think. Okay.
Just as what I bought her.
It involves 2 characters. Their names are Tag and Bink. And the really cool thing about these 2 characters is, first off, they were not part of like I said, they were part of Dark Horse Comics. So when Disney bought Star Wars, these stories that aren't Disney focused were blinked out of existence. Really, they made them non-canon, which means they don't count as part of the official story. Okay, but these 2 characters were so cool and so funny that Ron Howard, when he
put them in the movie.
He finished up a Solo Star Wars story, and he put them in that movie.
Nice.
So basically, if you've never read Tag and Bink Are Dead, it's the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of the Star Wars universe. They are everywhere that things are going down. Like, if you watch A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back, they were at pivotal points in that story. You just never saw them.
Right.
Now, here's an example. Okay? On the Rebel ship Tanative 4, it was swallowed up by the Star Destroyer in in A New Hope. Okay? It swallowed up the ship. They were after Princess Leia. But then these 2 guys were on that ship, and then they were on the Star Destroyer, and then they got on the Death Star. And then when Vader in A New Hope, he stops these 2 pilots, and he's like, "You 2, I need help with this. Come with me." The comic makes Tag and Bink those 2 pilots.
Gotcha.
And so they accidentally affect things, but then they also affect things on purpose. And one of the accidental ones
Sort of
was,
like the weed smoking hobbits in Lord of the Pip and that other little motherfucker.
Lambus bread.
But he takes Tag and Bink with him, or Vader takes them, and if you see A New Hope, he's going down the trench in his TIE fighter, and he's got the 2 TIE fighters beside him. And these assholes, one of them crashed into him, if you remember the movie, and crashed him and ruined his whole, arc there. And so they were there.
So do we know who's playing them in the Solo movie?
There are 2 actors, John Caston and Toby Hefferman.
Nobody famous.
Nobody right now. But
Not yet.
Like us.
big
On the cusp.
big shout out to Ron Howard for involving
sure.
these 2 characters. If you haven't read Tag and Bink Are Dead or any of the other stories, you're in luck, because they just put out a compilation of Tag and Bink. It's called Tag and Bink We're Here, and it's every story in one book.
Yeah, just
So
like
if you want to check it out,
All right.
it's at Sailfish right now. It's at Acme. It's at all the stores right now. Okay.
Yeah, we just went today.
Support local.
Yeah,
We-
we're
we both
taping-
picked it up.
Comic book shops, man.
Yeah, we're taping here today. Of course, it's free comic book day. I went down there with Jadon today. I picked it up a copy, $7.99. So go out there, go support local, go get it.
Jordan, Solo dub.
All right, my solo dub.
Salute, dude.
I listen to a lot of heavy metal music, and I know. This is-
You look like a heavy metal guy.
Thanks, baby.
It's
Just baby.
Now, that
By the
was
way,
not
Nobody
I
puts
almost-
baby in the corner.
Nobody puts that.
that was not a metal thing to say.
So,
Yeah,
so
the least metal thing you could say right now.
Baby.
thanks, sweet face. This one of my favorite metal bands, Tesseract, just put out a new album. It's called Sonder. You should pick it up as soon as you can. It's a bit short. It's like 37 minutes long. I think it's 8 tracks, 37 minutes long, and I just went and saw them at Arizona Pete's in Greensboro, and it blew my fucking mind. Like, I listened to the album before I went and saw them, because I knew that they were gonna play shit off the album, of course. But I listened to the album, thought it was okay, and then I saw them live, and I went back and listened to the album. I was like, oh. That's what they were doing. It's fucking phenomenal. The production, the tightness. I mean, they're known for a gent style, which is
Like
just-
Dream Theater.
no. I mean, it's progressive. It's progressive metal, but
Gotcha.
it's gent is more like palm muted, very, very tight.
Oh, gotcha,
everyone
gotcha.
together.
Yeah.
And they're British progressive metal. They've got 3 other albums, but 4 other albums, are including this one. But they've got some EPs. My favorite track off of Sonder is "Smile," and it just blows my fucking taint off. Dude, I'm telling you, Daniel.
That's a new name for the show.
Your nutsack chin.
Daniel Tompkins.
Let's have a taint
vocals.
off.
Daniel Tompkins' vocals on this particular album are just out of this goddamn galaxy. While I'm on the topic, another band that I've just recently picked up is called Leprous. They're from Norway, and they're also prog metal. And I saw them when I went to go see Between the Buried and Me and The Deer Hunter in
Nashville.
in Asheville at
Nice.
the Orange Peel. And I'll tell you what, me and my girlfriend walked into the Orange Peel, and they were already playing. And I stood there for a grand total of like -4 seconds before I realized that I was like, I had already had my phone out, not knowing I was texting my brother, like, listen to this album, because their album.
You know that new sound you're looking for? We got it right
Wait a minute.
here.
Wait a minute. You were texting your brother Skylar?
My brother Skylar, yes, the one with
Playing
all
locally soon.
the one
Playing locally soon, my brother Skylar.
Shameless plug.
The one that I've noticed, or at least everyone has told me, has all of the talent.
Ooh,
I don't know. You have personality.
Thanks, baby.
Personality goes a long way.
it's baby again.
It's
You got
baby.
baby twice.
You're just
now.
I am the baby.
You're just, all right, Captain. But yeah, pick up Leprous. Their newest album, Melina, is by far my favorite album, probably that I've ever heard. I mean, it's sonically perfection to me.
All right.
Sonic and
All right, go ahead, Captain
Is
Cleveland.
it my go?
Yes,
All right,
baby.
So I am going to talk about a television show that I absolutely love. It's called Atlanta.
Dashboard
Yeah.
It is on FX on Thursday nights. We're halfway through the second season. It stars Donald Glover, who some of you may know as Childish Gambino, the rapper.
Is that who that is?
His name is Ern. He dropped out of Princeton. He's
Spider-Man
managing
Homecoming.
his cousin.
He's the Prowler.
Alfred, who he's a rapper. His name's Paperboy. And he's just got a complicated situation with his ex-girlfriend. It's so smart. It's so funny. Outstanding writing, acting. It's a really great show. There's some underrated folks in there. Lakeith Stanfield, who played Snoop Dogg in Straight Outta Compton. He was also in Get Out. A young lady named Zazie Beetz, who's going to be in Deadpool 2
Domino.
as one of the X-Force members.
Nice.
And it's already won a lot of awards. For the first season, it won a Golden Globe for Best TV Series Comedy, Best Actor Comedy, and it won an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in Comedy. So, Donald Glover won that. Donald Glover also plays Lando Calrissian in the new Solo movie. So, guys, if you like good TV, smart comedy, check out Atlanta FX Thursday nights.
And also, he is not from Cleveland, so this is going to be a good thing for the rest of us.
Yeah. If I know anything about geography, Atlanta isn't anywhere near Cleveland.
No, but Donald Glover is not from Cleveland.
LeBron owns Atlanta, too.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's the king of the South.
Go home.
I'd like to take the opportunity to shout out another one of our sponsors, Bull's Tavern, located in downtown Winston-Salem. They have 24 taps, classic cocktail lists, and great bourbon selections. Live music, 4 nights a week, and Sunday Fun Day home spot with Bloody Mary and Mimosa Bar. Guys, check out Bull's Tavern in Winston.
Thank you for listening to Revenge of the Podcast. And make sure you're following us on social media. It is at MultiPoptural on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as SoundCloud.
Yes! Yeah! Victory!
And anger management?
Fuck anger management.